Kim here. Today is March 23rd, 2018, Friday. Hope you guys had a good week this week trading. As I record this video, market should be open another 20 minutes. It's actually closing time, so you should be seeing some flashing lights on your left. Let's continue on with our analysis on our weekly analysis. We're going to be looking at Qs, IWM, Spider. I'm going to start with the Qs first because I think kind of following up with what I've been talking about in the last week's video that we wanted to not see this island reversal, as you can see right there. So this gap up right there, you see that gap up, we bulls need to sustain that gap. The gap is now open on both direction. Now we have that island reversal, and ever since that island reversal, things got very hectic here for the short-term bulls. You can see that we made even another higher high. You can say that this is potentially the minor term. It was a minor term bull trap, and the market just knows a way to punish the chasers, right? A lot of people are saying, okay, I'm gonna go long once you make new highs, and we saw the gap up, got up, people chase it, this thing comes down, gaps down, creating island reversal here. You can see this is an island, and then this thing pretty much tanking ever since then. I threw a little bit of fib, I think maybe last week or something like that. Now it blowed through the first level, blowed through a second level. Now we are just at the last level of Fibonacci here in the intermediate term. You can see the last time that I think that 100 SMA, that vicinity was important level. You can see that's where we found support here. That's what this was back in February 12th. That vicinity, you can see we got down that 100 SMA, saw some long lower wick, a lot of volatility, but this was indeed the vicinity. We found some support. We're kind of in that vicinity today with the last level of fib. But if I actually go out, kind of a more of a longer term picture here, if you look at the primary term uptrend, and you can see that from all the way from June 2016, so we got that uptrend support and also those uptrend support to watch this coming week. And if you guys remember last week and last couple weeks that I was open-minded for shenanigans, something like this, because obviously there's still a lot of fear if you look at the long-term picture. After this kind of bullish move, we had a straight down move, and there's going to be, still a lot of volatility here. So let's clean up some of these levels that I drummed last week. You can see that we're back at it now. So now, if I actually go back here now, we cleared this. We are no longer in a minor term uptrend. Obviously, we came straight down, broken this, what it looks like a neckline here. Now you can say that this is kind of a double top in the minor term. We have broken below the neckline. So I think the dire situation for the bulls at this point is that we need to reclaim this level. The buyers need to reclaim this level by possibly getting back up above this level and start accumulating or start cultivating higher lows and higher highs. If I actually go back to line chart, you can see that now we have cultivated eco. We're near that eco low level. We're finally looking at this line chart. We are retesting 200 SMA. Last time we did see 200 SMA tagged in the intraday, but it closed above it. But it looks like today, for the first time in a really long time, we're going to actually close near 200. That's actually first time seeing that since prior to the election on November 3rd, 2016. I think if we draw any kind of long term, so that's one there. I think that's more likely that. So that's the long-term uptrend support that we're at this point. So, and let's also draw so that's a prior resistance, right? A prior support, and we're now retesting the level that is coinciding with potentially this uptrend support. We don't know if it's going to be acting as support until we see evidence of that. And then a prior support, which is in that vicinity, that is coinciding also with 200 SMA. So things are starting to get really, really hectic here. A lot of these minor term levels has been broken, but and I am open-minded, potentially this thing getting down and making new low. That's a possibility. A lot of times when there's a lot of volatility like this, there's a lot of people probably get trapped here, and the market needs to kind of clear a lot of those people out and then make new low before getting back up. So I think here, let me do a little bit of longer term Fibonacci. I think I've done this before, but okay, so we're at that 50% there, and then we tagged the last level of Fib last time we came down. We're not quite there yet today. So I think it's a possibility if we do not see a support in this vicinity going next week, next couple weeks, this thing may come down, make a new low before reversing back up. Because again, the market needs to create new, it's been creating new supply here, and market needs to take out those stops. Market needs to create panic. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking here, potentially if we don't see a bounce. But if we do see a bounce at this level, as you can see, this is the primary term uptrend support. If we do see a bounce here, I think next level of resistance is obviously that neckline here. So I think this is going to be kind of a interesting and possibly a dire situation in the minor to intermediate term. Obviously, I am still bullish in the overall picture. I am bullish in the long term. But with this week's action, I have to give benefit of the doubt to sellers in the minor term. And I will say in the intermediate term, we're kind of at neutral at this point. Obviously, primary term, we're in an uptrend. So primary term bullish, intermediate term neutral, minor term. And when I say minor term, I don't mean 30-minute chart. I don't mean a couple days. I mean this thing is right there, minor term. Obviously, the sentiment is bearish as of today. So we got that neckline there. And at the same time, we have this gap that also needs to be filled. So we got these downside gaps, and I think that those gaps has not yet been filled. And because of that, and this is a gap that needed to be filled for the buyers to kind of, kill that downside momentum, something that I've been talking about last couple of weeks. Well, the gap didn't get filled, and then the gap acted as resistance. But it actually acted as a pretty strong resistance here, which I did not expect to see this kind of downturn from it. But the market came down here, and then this is a neckline. So if this thing gets up, and then if you get rejected, potentially that could be another leg lower. We got the high, lower high, and then potentially another lower high. Another possible scenario is that this thing gets up here and then fill this gap, or that gap here could act as resistance. You can see that this gap did act as resistance and then possibly coming down. There are a lot of possible scenario. I don't want to get into it. Could be another potentially something like this and then get up. I'm not, at this point, it's tough to say. But we could possibly make new low here. I think because too many people are watching this uptrend support on the Qs, on the spider, and same with the Russell. I think too many people are watching this support. Many people are, I think, a lot of their stops, like most people are stops are possibly in that vicinity. And I think the market possibly trying to come back down and get those stops and make people panic and make the masses start running for cover. And then while the most have completely feared out of this market, I think that's possibly when the market market start to reverse back up here. So I think that's a possibility. But currently the support is at 250-ish here with 100 SMA, 200 SMA actually, and then uptrend support. And I won't be surprised, and I am open-minded, as like I've been saying last couple of weeks, I am open-minded for this thing to potentially getting lower and making new low before reversing back up. Let's look at Russell 2000 and let you guys go. Let's see. Let's clear that up a little bit. And then Russell 2000 actually still... Let's do that. So Russell 2000, technically in the minor term, you know, we're still kind of holding some of those levels. We're not at the lows yet, not like Spider, right? We're actually kind of in that, we're actually kind of in this vicinity right here after cultivating higher highs. And now that minor term uptrend starting to get dismantled. For this, potentially a double top to play out, that neckline has to be disrupted, right? It has to be breached. So I think at this point it's tough to say that if it's a double top or not, because there's still many things could be happening. We have the 200 SMA in that vicinity. 200 SMA did act as strong support here back in February 8th. And let's look at the long-term picture here. So I think we can draw something like this, or something like that. Doesn't right there. So you got some of those levels as a potential support. I think we got the last level fib here. We got the 200 SMA in that vicinity. We got 147.68. We got some uptrend supports here and here and here. Again, those are just potential level of support. We're not sure how this thing is going to play out. But if we look at the primary term, obviously we're on an uptrend. We are in a primary term, higher lows and higher highs, right? We got the higher highs. So and this is the same all across the board. We are in a primary term uptrend. But even if you just look at the Russell 2000, I mean, like, you know, here, how it comes down, how it comes down, how it comes down before reversing back up. After cultivating higher low here, even 2017 was very, very interesting, very, very interesting year, because obviously a lot of people thought that this was the end of small caps. How many people fled with fear when this thing made a new low like this? That's exactly what I was talking about on Spider. You can see that we've been consolidating for pretty much all year long in 2007. You guys remember how I traded Russell 2000? I was accumulating calls all throughout 2017, and then when it broke new low, I remember everybody was panicking, right? Everybody was panicking, and that seemed like a huge deal, because at the time, if I just blow up here, you can see it looked like the whole world was crashing down. It always is. It always does seem like the whole world is crashing down when you're in it. You know, when you actually look back now, it doesn't seem a whole lot, but at the time, you can see right there, at this time when this thing was breaking this low and this thing started coming down, I remember I've heard so many things where like, okay, Russell 2000's breaking down, the small caps is breaking down, therefore everything else is gonna come down. It's always something, everybody acting emotional, everybody act with fear, and then obviously that was the bottom. And something like that happened a lot. It happened on Spider as well. So looking at Russell, obviously we're still in this vicinity, not a level to panic, right? And I think just even looking at Spider here, I mean, we're coming down here. I mean, you know, right now it looks like the whole thing is gonna potentially crash down because there's a lot of volatility. Because like I said, remember what I said I don't know, it was last week, a couple videos ago, that the market has trained traders, investors to be conditioned in this almost half year of a very gentle, low volatility market. And now that volatility hits, now everybody's panicking, right? Because the market has conditioned this way. But again, this is how the market works. I mean, even in people right here, just people are freaking out here, right? And there was uptrend support right there. That's another one right there. And I had a video lesson that I've done on this publicly where this is how the market works. It comes down, there's a support, right? It comes lower, break below the support, take out the stop before reversing. And we saw that biggest move we've ever seen in almost 40, 50 years, right? So this is kind of what I'm saying. I think looking at more of a primary term on the Spider here, and I'll let you guys go with this, is that obviously we're an option, are we not? We got the higher highs and we got the higher lows, and everybody's looking at these support levels. Everybody's stop is potential here. Maybe they bought the dip, maybe bought it up here, I don't know. And then they place their stop. What is a significant support? Well, it's right here. It's just a February 8, 2018, that low. So I'm guessing what the market wants to do is come down here and take out this right there, take out the stops here before reversing back up. I am still bullish on the long term. I do not believe crash is coming for sure. I don't believe there's going to be a 1987 style of a market crash happening. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are probably going to be talking about it. I don't believe that. I believe this is going to be a shakeout, and shakeout is there to create new supply. New supply is needed for that these big funds start to buy these new supply at a cheaper price. But the market needs to take out these small timers. Market needs to take out these unseasoned, untrained traders. So once the market takes out their stops, I think then the market is ready to move. So let's see how it plays out, guys. And 258, 257. See if we find support here, or if this thing gets lower, making new lows before getting higher. At this point, I'm not sure. We'll follow up next week, and we go from there. So long term, I'm still very much bullish. I still think the market is going to thrive. I don't know about like thriving like last year, but I think S&P could still see 10-15% this year, maybe even more. This year, I think this shakeout is needed, is much needed shakeout. The market needs to do that before market makes a run, and that's how the market works. Market is gonna never make it easy for anyone to come out and start profiting. So let's see if the market is coming down to take out those stops before going higher, or are we going to find some support? Are we going to consolidate? So we got some levels to watch here in Spider. 265, there's a prior support, potentially going to act as resistance, and then 265, 267. Now let me put another level there, I think 252. So we got 3 levels to watch on Spider. Here, I'll remove that. So we got 3 levels to watch here: 265, 255, 257, and 250, 252-ish level. I think some of those levels are going to be important level. And then we'll go from there. See how it plays out next week. And we'll follow up next week, and we'll look at these levels again. If I see anything, I'll tweet it out and maybe possibly write an article. But we'll see how that plays out. Have a wonderful weekend, and good luck trading next.